Welcome everyone to a very special place to unveil a very special car. I'm pleased to introduce the new Mercedes-Maybach S-Class, the pinnacle of automotive excellence at Mercedes-Benz. Just take a moment and have a look at these signature Maybach exterior design details. Let's start with the impressive silhouette. This car is almost 5.5 meters long. The Maybach logo illuminated in some markets, a large greenhouse with an extra window framed by exclusive chrome and aluminium, and strengthened by this very special paint. I'm pretty sure I don't have to say much about the grille. Isn't that a statement, right? It's only been a couple of weeks since we unveiled the new S-Class and got great feedback from both customers and media. Now, here we are again, with the challenge to make the best car in the world better yet again. You know what? It's an insane job, and we loved it, because that's the essence of the Maybach brand. Pushing boundaries and surprising those who probably have seen it all. Here's what we bring to the table. Customers will get the full S-Class package plus some more. Of course, it's about engineering excellence, craftsmanship and high-tech, but a truly outstanding experience goes beyond that. It takes ultimate dedication. Dedication to, again and again, excite the most demanding customers. Dedication to build on the best. Let me share a personal story on that matter. Last year, one of my best friends celebrated his birthday in this nice restaurant in France. It was one of those places where you expect the food, the service, location, and experience to be exceptional. But you know what I remember most from that evening? The bread. The bread that comes out before you even start dinner. Don't get me wrong, dinner was great, but the bread was phenomenal. Turns out the chef handpicked a little farm where he grows the wheat grain. He even has his dedicated mill. He does everything from A to Z, because he is determined to bake the best stone-baked bread in the world. And yes, that's it. Even if it was just this little overture in the intro, the bread is what stuck with me. The upside surprise, something you didn't expect. Excellence down to the very last detail. That's exactly what this car is here to deliver in the most sophisticated package. We're going those extra miles for our customers, just like that French chef. In the past, luxury was often associated to opulence and wastefulness. Today, at Mercedes-Benz, we rather understand it as a state of great comfort, ease, and timeless aesthetics. It's about purity, fascinating technology, and utmost quality. Take, for instance, the beautiful two-tone paint. Every Maybach S-Class in two-tone is hand-painted. This process can take up to a full week to finish. And this is just one of many examples that showcases what the Maybach brand is all about. Perfection, even in the smallest details. Each Maybach model is a masterpiece of fine craftsmanship, combining distinct quality and sophisticated materials. It all started almost 100 years ago with Wilhelm Maybach, an engineering genius, passionate for technological perfection, and the wingman of Gottlieb Daimler. The Maybach brand is deeply rooted in automotive history, and as a Mercedes sub-brand, it inherited the ambition of its founder, his spirit of ingenuity and restless demand for the exceptional. In fact, the brand has a higher pedigree than most other car brands out there. Which takes me to the question, how does a brand manage to constantly deliver the outstanding? How does it stand the test of time? Let's hear from the man behind brands like Cartier, IWC, Jägerle-Kult and Mont Blanc, the one and only Johann Rupert.
For any prestigious brand to remain desirable over time, it needs to observe certain disciplines. Firstly, it needs to remain true to its core values, its DNA. We should recall Coco Chanel's words, "Style stays, fashion goes." In today's times, truly sophisticated luxury requires a fusion between engineering, technology, and what we call a touch of the human soul. The Germans call it Fingerspitzengefühl. I am really looking forward to experiencing the new S-Class Maybach.
Thank you, Johann. The perception of luxury keeps evolving. It's our job to define it at each moment in time. This also includes a bold promise of the future. Our iconic Maybach 6 show cars are testament to that promise. They embody traditional Mercedes values that are here to stay, such as top-notch quality, safety, engineering leadership, and of course, breathtaking design. At the same time, they underline the new values that gain importance, including best-in-class connectivity, digitalization, infotainment, and driver assistance. The new Mercedes-Maybach S-Class shows how we live up to that ambition. Our MBUX voice assistant now, for instance, takes care of every individual passenger. And there's the Maybach exclusive rear compartment lighting that is intuitively activated through gestures and body movements. The soul of a brand doesn't thrive on preservation, but on innovation. And that, of course, includes sustainability. We are determined to go carbon neutral and to build the world's most desirable electric cars. We are committed to substantially extending our lineup of large, all-electric Mercedes vehicles, starting next year with the EQS. And yes, this future lineup will also include our first all-electric Maybach model, because we believe it's our duty to keep this extraordinary brand ahead of its time, even in a changing world with constantly changing customer perceptions. I addressed this topic with the artistic director of Louis Vuitton and Off-White CEO, Virgil Abloh.
The ways to create a luxury brand in the future is, an acute understanding of the current culture. So to understand the current culture, there has to be a responsibility to understand the past. For me, what I appreciate about a luxury car is the craft. I think, it's not that sort of hard of a concept to understand that a car, on one hand, is just an object that gets you from A to B. But once you add craftsmanship, once you add sort of attention to detail, all of a sudden that trip from A to B can become an experience. And I think within well-designed things, that experience stays with you and leaves a lasting impact. So for me, an instance like the Maybach has this sort of transcendent quality that transforms just a trip from A to B to something that stays with you.
I can only agree. A trip in a Maybach is definitely memorable. And there's an ever-growing number of people seeking this special experience. Last year, we presented 12,000 exclusive units of the Maybach S-Class to customers around the world. This year, we extended the family with the Maybach GLS. And I'm sure this new Maybach S-Class will keep the fan base growing. We can see tremendous potential for this brand. That's why we're planning to cautiously grow and ultimately double our Maybach production to meet the demand. Of course, we're talking about the higher end of sophisticated luxury here. Driving a Maybach will always remain a sign of distinction and exclusivity. We're honored that the Maybach S-Class particularly made fans in China. a market with some of the most demanding customers in the world. What do they expect? Let's hear from someone in the know. Jiang Xiong-er, CEO and Creative Director of Shangxia.
I think today's China and the Chinese people, we are becoming more and more international. Even though we're still strongly and deeply connected with our own cultural roots. But I think the definition of the essence of luxury, it is international. It is about time and emotion. It's like a woman and a man. When we are in love, when your heart is touched by or attracted by another, you will feel that your heart beating faster, that kind of, in Chinese we call 心动的感觉. The feeling of, this kind of heart has been attracted or touched. I think that as long as a product has that effect, the desire, the desirability is right there.
Well, I do think we've packed a lot of emotion into this car. You know what really convinces people? The full experience. Feeling it, sensing it, driving, as well as being driven in a Maybach is unparalleled. It's the serene feeling of being home on the road. Even before we get into the car, here's an exclusive Maybach feature I'm sure you will love. That's pretty neat, right? For the first time ever, we've got comfort doors that can open automatically, controlled from the driver's seat or with this key here. Of course, the car makes sure it's safe for other road users before opening its doors. Once inside, you can close them with a simple gesture. Honestly, as soon as this door closes, my personal recreation begins. I'm calming down, enjoying the moment after a long day. And calmness starts with silence. The S-Class is best in class when it comes to interior silence. And the Maybach S-Class again goes that one step further. With active driving noise compensation, counter noise actively creates silence. And the result is amazing. Sitting here is like putting on a pair of noise-canceling headphones. Again, you have to experience it to really get a sense what all this means for Maybach passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, desirability is a very individual concept, of course. It's created in the heads, and even more so in the hearts of people. It's far more than the sum of its parts. But it helps when every single part is done to perfection. Like that French bread I mentioned earlier. We are in the business of building the world's most desirable cars. And I can't wait to get this beauty into the showrooms starting next spring and to hear your feedback on it. Before we get to that, let's take this beauty on a virtual tour to some of the most desirable places in the world. Thanks for joining, stay safe, and enjoy the ride.